Well, hello, and welcome to that thing we like to call Kernless Mania, where we talk all things pop, rock, and prog. And he must have enjoyed himself the first time because he's back for more. And I am so excited that you came back to the channel, Mr. Anthony Ferraro. How are you, Anthony?
Good, Tom. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
It's always a pleasure, man. We always have fun. We were just talking about how, like, do we really have to work for a living? Like, can't we just do this for a living? Like, we just talk music all the time. That would be cool. Maybe someday, maybe someday. But we're here to talk about the mighty David Gilmour, right? And the cassette, I love it. Cassette.
This is the first Columbia issue,
Nice.
and then I
Okay.
have the remaster,
Okay.
and then I have the LP.
Nice. Nice. Does
So
the
that tells you
remaster
how much I dig this album.
have any extra track, anything extra on it?
No, but it's funny because I guess we'll probably talk about that later, but I guess I could talk about it now. But it's funny because on the remaster, on the track No Way, there's an extra kind of like an extra guitar part or two, like an extra minute or two
Oh,
of
okay.
guitar music in the
Okay.
song. It's
All
like an
right.
extended kind of guitar solo or
Nice.
guitar part,
Okay. That's cool. That's
which I
cool.
didn't notice until I bought the remaster just because, and then I remember playing. I was like, wow, that's an extra long guitar lead by Gilmour. I'm like, well, that's the difference. I know that's the difference between the remaster because I actually have an extra guitar lead on No Way. It's the only track that has an kind of an extra guitar part.
Okay.
It's basically it's the same guitar sound. It's just like an extended guitar part lead solo.
Just a little longer
Nothing too exciting.
it fades out or whatever. Yeah.
Now, and what's sad about this is, um, right around the time that Steven Wilson remixed Rick Wright's "Wet Dream," this was supposed to be part of. This was rumored to have a remix too, but it fell through.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So yeah, I just have the record. And this is kind of what spurred this conversation, or what spurred this episode, was that, Anthony and I sometimes go back and forth. We'll like take pictures if we're listening to something or whatever. Hey, check this out. I'm listening to this record. This is my work soundtrack or whatever. And then I think I took a picture, and this was like in the front of one of my, like, it was showing, it was being featured, and Anthony was like, hey, let's, I know what we could do for the next episode. Let's talk about that self-titled David Gilmour record. And I was like,
Now,
oh,
what issue is that? Is that an American label or is that a UK?
this is Columbia. This is,
Probably that's what I have also. That's the American label.
yeah,
See,
yeah,
Ken always tells us to buy. I mean, it's not that easy, but Ken always tells us to buy the album from the country that the musician's from. Like all the Genesis records, we're supposed to buy the Charisma UK
Charisma.
label, not the
Yeah,
American.
right. Don't buy the Atlantic, buy Charisma. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I wish I could. Yeah, I mean, actually, and at Genesis, I will say, Genesis probably my favorite band, and if they're the one band that I would do that, like, I'd probably spend money to get, like, oh, Charisma copy, I'll get it. Like, I would buy it.
Now I did
So,
that with some of my Brand X LPs. I got the Charisma
oh, did
because I
you?
actually bought. I think it was on Passport, and it was basically like it was too many snaps and crackles and pops, too many Rice
Yeah,
Krispies.
yeah,
And then I
yeah.
bought the Charisma, and it was like night and day.
Was it? Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, so we are here to talk about the self-titled David Gilmour record from 1978. And man, this album, I've wore the grooves out of this record. So I'm kind of giving it away already, but I'm a big Gilmour fan generally. I just love David Gilmour. So anything that he does, I'm gonna pick it up. And this album, I think, is kind of it's sort of overlooked, and we'll talk more about this, but let me just give you a quick rundown on it. Why don't we start with that? So it was recorded at Super Bear Studios, which is in France, and which is the same place you mentioned, Wet Dream. It was the same studio Wet Dream was recorded in. I think Rick Wright left the studio like a week before David jumped in there and did his album. Um, and he recorded it with two guys who were in his band, his previous band before Pink Floyd, Joker's Wild. And Rick Wills, I think, was like the bass player, and he became more famous in Foreigner later.
Hmm.
That's how I
Correct.
knew him, right, from Foreigner.
Correct.
And then the drummer was Willie Wilson. So it's just like a trio. It's just kind of a power trio vibe. And it was released on May 26th in 1978. It was recorded February through March 78 at Super Bear, as I mentioned. And it was released on Harvest in the UK, and I think Columbia in the United States, as we were talking about the two labels. And produced by David Gilmour. So yeah, so there's the quick rundown. And what's your history with this, Anthony? When did you first hear this record? Do you remember?
I probably got the original CD probably in the mid '90s. I was always a buddy of mine had it on cassette for years. A big Pink Floyd fan of my buddy of mine who was a big Pink Floyd fan had it on cassette. We always listened to it. I always enjoyed it. And then when I started buying CDs, it was one of the first CDs I bought. I was always enamored with the cover. I don't know. There's something about that Winterest scene with those three guys standing outside.
Yes. Yes.
And I was always a fan of Gilmour from all his years with Floyd. But I bought it in the mid '90s, and it's basically become a top 10 all-time record for me. It's just beautiful. I love his guitar tone. It's a perfect record. It's a perfect Gilmour album. And sadly, he hasn't played anything live from it from. I don't even think he played anything live from it on About Face. I mean, he just
Oh,
these first two albums he just poo-poos. He's either playing Pink Floyd tracks or the later Gilmour albums. But it's sad. These songs are fantastic. They should be heard live. We should hear them in a live setting. But he's I don't know. I don't understand him sometimes. I don't understand these musicians who feel like they have to play all their hits. I mean, there's some fantastic people who will go see David Gilmour would know these tunes.
yes, they would.
Like
Yeah.
there's no way out of here was a radio staple.
Yes.
And I've heard it on FM over the years, and that was that song that I think they wrote for the Joker's Wild Band wrote, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Because I mean, well, isn't it a cover? I mean, somebody else wrote it. I can't remember who.
Yeah, it was I think it was a band that he produced.
Okay.
And a
Okay.
band that he produced and then he just covered it.
He covered it. Gotcha. Yeah. Because for the longest time, I didn't know that was a cover. I was like,
Yeah, I didn't either
oh,
until I found out about maybe 10, 15 years ago.
yeah, it's crazy. So for many years, I thought that was an original. So
Now,
yeah,
now, if we want to go on a tangent real quick, I never knew Ace Frehley's "Into the Night" was a cover of Russ Ballard's. I always thought it was Ace Frehley's. Just those kind of covers, you don't hear all the time. Like, wait, that was a cover. Then all these years later, I found out Gilmore's tune was a cover, but he kind
yeah.
of produced the band that played it. So,
Didn't he also do 2000 Man by the Stones? Ace Frehley?
yes, he did on Kiss
Yeah.
Dynasty.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So, Ace is by far my favorite member of Kiss, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Tangent time. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, this record, same. I had kind of the similar. I had a guy, like a friend in high school, who was like a massive Floyd fan. Like he was bigger than me. Like I love Floyd, but he was like really like super into him. Like had like everything. Anytime any member, anything, any solo, it was like he had bootlegs. He had like the whole deal. So he had this record pretty early on, and I was like, hey, can you tape it for me? So he just made like a tape of it for me, and it got cut off because that this album is actually kind of long. It's like 49 minutes or something. It's almost, I mean, so it's not like it didn't fit on a 90-minute tape or whatever on one side. Um, but I loved it. Like I remember like putting it on and being like, this album is great. Like this is like, what a cool album this is. Like it's just so, so melodic, so atmospheric. I mean, he plays his ass off on it. I mean, it's really, really good. Um,
It's the kind of the solo record I think around that time you would expect from him, with his guitar tone, and it's very soothing, and there's just something about his tone. I mean, when
yeah.
I think of his tone, I can also relate to. That's why I like Andy Latimer so much from Camel, because Andy
Right.
Latimer, I think
Right.
those two kind of marry each other tone wise. I mean, it's just so tasty. And I think at the time period when Pink Floyd fans got this album in between Animals and the Wall, they're like this is what we would expect. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
Gilmore-esque.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So yeah, so before we go into the tracks, let me just do a little bit since you just mentioned between Animals and the Wall. So I'm wearing the Animals shirt because Animals plays a big part in the because it's like, okay, why are suddenly out of nowhere Rick Wright and David Gilmour making solo records in '78? And I think that there was a little bit of like Pink Floyd was having a little bit like the making of this record wasn't exactly smooth. Like it's a great album. I love Animals
Oh yeah.
to death. I love it, but it wasn't a smooth album to make. And two of the songs, Dogs and Sheep, were originally songs called Raving and Drooling and Gotta Be Crazy, and they were
Yes.
from '74. Those were written before Wish You Were Here.
And they were live staples during the Wish You Were Here tour.
Right. And I couldn't believe it. When I got that reissue of Wish You Were Here, I wish I should have it. It's on the shelf right there. But it's I couldn't believe it. All of a sudden I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Dogs." Like they were playing this in '74? Like holy crap. You know? Or this is Sheep. Like this is and it's named something else and they were like you said they were playing it live like crazy. And so really a lot of this stuff on Animals was old material that they kind of took and like updated, Roger put new words to it. And brilliant. I mean, brilliant concept. I love the sheep, dogs, pigs. I love the whole concept. And but from like Gilmore's mind and Wright, they were like, this is old stuff that we wrote a long time ago. And like it was kind of like they didn't feel like they were getting enough in. Like they didn't feel like they were getting enough, like they were like Roger was kind of like taking over a little bit. That's what from what I understand. They were just a little bit frustrated with the recording. I mean, Gilmore plays all over it. I mean, he's all over his footprints all over. But yeah. But I mean, did you hear this too? That like Animals, the making of Animals was kind of rough.
Yeah, and I know that what had happened was is basically right around 78 was like when he's like after the so-called incident at Montreal during the tour with the fan being spit on or
Yeah,
he spit on
yeah,
Roger Waters. That was
yeah,
like around the time where he came up with the concept of the wall. So he was kind of off doing that. And then David and Rick's like, well, I'm gonna go work on a solo project.
yeah, yeah. And I just
And I
think they
think they both came out around the same time.
They did. It's just crazy. They both came out pretty close together, and I think that they were just like feeling a little stifled musically at the time. And so, considering the stuff on here was really old material, they because I mean, Gilmore, by his own admission, says he doesn't he's pretty slow. He's a slow writer, and so for him to have an album's worth of material like that, I mean, he must have been storing some stuff up. You know what I mean? For him to put out an album this that quickly. So anyway,
Kind of
I'm
like George, we're going to go on a tangent again, but just like George Harrison,
yeah,
all things must
exactly.
pass. I mean, he was storing everything inside, just
Exactly. He
waiting to come out.
couldn't wait to make an album because he had so much stuff. Yeah, so I think it was kind of similar. That's a great analogy. So yeah, so anyway, so let's get into the album. So it starts out with My Hallis, which is I think was the name of his boat, I think.
It's such a beautiful
But what a
instrumental. It
great
really is. Because
yeah,
we
what do you
got
think of this?
we've got three instrumentals. We got Mel Hollis, definitely, and Short and Sweet. They're all gorgeous.
Yeah. No, wait, Short and Sweet has lyrics.
No, not Short and Sweet. I'm sorry. Raise My
Oh,
Rent. That's my fault.
Raise My
Short
Rent.
and
Yeah,
Sweet's
yeah, yeah.
with Short and Sweet's the track written with Roy Harper. My fault.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so those three instrumentals, Mel Hallis, definitely, and Raise My Rent, fantastic.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I mean, and it just goes to show you that the lyrics sometimes aren't even needed with this guy because
Oh man.
we can just listen to him play guitar all day, right?
No,
It's like,
I know. It's and yeah, and those three work together fantastically. I mean, it was really a really nice trio. They really had
yeah,
a
and
nice they had a
yeah,
nice they just had a nice chemistry and it just worked out perfectly.
and they don't overdo it. They're kind of a mellow rhythm section. Like they
Oh
don't,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Which is like kind of appropriate for a lot of this stuff.
Well, it's
Um,
kind of like what Steve Hackett was doing. Like he was a lead guitar player, but he didn't overplay the song. He played to the song and he had his rhythm section play to the song with him. So
right.
like it was more of a song. I mean, I
Yeah.
love Steve Vai and I love Joe Satriani, but a lot of the times they're up front and it's like more the guitar of the song than the whole band. But like with Hackett and Gilmour, they always kind of like the song comes first, so I'm going to whatever the song needs, I'm going to give it. Kind of like, and then it didn't feel like they were ever overplaying.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I love, like you said, I love how it's a beautiful sort of, and it just sort of eases in with Mahalis. Like it just, you put the needle on and it just kind of eases right in. It's like, it doesn't hit you like wham. It's like, it's kind of like it just comes in really mellow. And you're like, all right. And it's really cool. Then it goes into probably the most Floyd-like song on the record. There's No Way Out of Here, which is a cover, like we were just talking about. It's not even written by him, but it kind of has that like it's got those, the female vocals and at the end, and it's got his like real fiery playing, and I love the song. I think it's a great tune, like it's a great melody. What do you think of that track?
Yeah, I think that song's great. I for years I never knew it was a remake, but then I read the story behind it. I was like, oh well, he produced the band that wrote it, so that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a good song. And like you said, got some radio play in the US. Um, and then Cry from the Street is like bluesy almost, right? It's like kind of like,
Very bluesy.
sort of bluesy
Yeah,
feel.
that bluesy guitar riff to open the song, it gets you right away.
There, 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 there.
There, there, there. Bow, bow, bow. And Rick Wills, I mean, bow, bow, bow. He's got some killer bass lines.
Yes, yes, they're kind of a funky rhythm section on that track.
Yes.
A little bit of
Yes,
little
that
bit of
track is
funk,
very funky and bluesy.
little funk, a little blues. Yeah, it's cool though. But he play. I mean, that's just what a versatile guitarist he is. He can do that stuff and get away with it. And then side one ends with So Far Away, which is sort of like almost like a piano ballad of sorts,
Yeah, it's
right?
it's kind of like the as George would say, the softy of the record.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think of it? You like it?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. I think it works. I mean, it's a softy, but Gilmour can do a softy, and of course you got there's more piano. I think that's the only time you hear piano on the record. I was just thinking about the other
yeah,
day, but
yeah,
yeah, it's a softy of the record, but I liked it. I
yeah,
it's got a cool, it's got a cool melody, and it's just very kind of it's slow, but it's kind of rhythmic, and it has a nice atmosphere. It works. I think the
yeah,
way and of course, here's another issue where track sequence is always important. I think the way it kind of ends and then it kind of goes right into track five on side two with Short and Sweet with the fantastic Roy Harper tune. Just fantastic. Short and Sweet's fantastic.
Oh my God, I love Short and Sweet. I love when Gilmore does those like slashing power, like those power chords. Or I don't know if he's using a Strat or if it's a Telly, but he's got that like it's almost like a Run Like Hell feel a little bit. With those huge chords and just like powerful like rhythmic chords, and he's got like a little bit of echo on it, and it's got like that. Oh, I just and then it's just a great track. Like I love the melody, that whole you ask, that's just such a cool melody. And like you said, Roy Harper wrote the lyrics. It's a great track, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's a really good one.
That's like one of my favorites. And it starts out, I mean, that's a song, like you said, why doesn't he play that song live? Like, come on.
Oh,
Like,
I know. Like, and as like he could play Milhalis or Raise My Rent live. People would go nuts.
yeah, they would.
I mean,
Like,
Raise My Rent would be a heck of a way to open. I mean, it's just the opening chord sequence is just that is just there's just something about that tune that gets me every time. It's just so atmospheric and so it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I think that's what when we first decided we were going to do this record, I think that was what you texted me, raise my rent. Because like it is such a great track.
Oh, I love it. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, really atmospheric. So, and then No Way. What do you think of No Way?
Oh, No Way's another good kind of bluesy, kind of rock, bluesy track. And as I said
Yeah.
on the remaster that I have, there's like an extra guitar lead or an extra guitar lead or extra guitar solo on the track. I mean, it's just an extra like an extra minute or two, but you can definitely tell it's longer than it was on the original.
Yeah. 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 It's kind of that and he does a little bit of slide guitar, I think, on that a little bit.
Yes.
Um,
There's
there's
no
no way.
way I'm gonna get home.
Doot, doot, doot.
It's almost like you got two songs. There's no way out of here, and then there's no way.
There's no way. Yeah, exactly. Right. Right. So then we get definitely, which is another instrumental, as we said earlier, a little more aggressive instrumental on this one. And he's got some like really weird kind of strange guitar effects going on this track.
Yes.
Um, yeah, what do you think of this one? Do you like it?
Oh, I like definitely. It's got three great instrumentals. They're all just so Gilmour-esque. I mean, I guess that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. They're all Gilmour-esque. When you hear them, you know it's Gilmour.
Yeah.
It's got that tone.
Yeah. And I would say that you just mentioned like one of the biggest compliments that he gets on a regular basis is you can always tell it's him. And it's like, why is that? Why can you tell that he said it has a lot to do with the way he fingers the strings. It's everyone's got their own touch, right? And he said that, but he has that very unique touch. Something about his playing, man. I don't know, but then it ends with "I Can't Breathe Anymore," which is kind of like an almost like a little bit epic. It's like it's not that long, but it kind of feels like an epic song at the end.
Yeah, and
Um,
it feels like the perfect closer because it's so short. Like it's about 2 minutes. Like you're getting in, and then all of a sudden it ends. Like
right.
it's kind of like the perfect way to end it.
Yeah, it kind of starts mellow and then it kind of kicks in about halfway
It
through.
builds up, yes,
Yeah,
and then
it
it
kicks
fades
in
out.
and then it fades out pretty quickly. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well
Yes.
now we're rocking, and then it fades out.
Yeah, it's like just kidding. We're fading out.
Exactly, exactly.
I think his vocals sound amazing on this record.
Oh my God, yeah, he's singing great on this. Yes,
And that
absolutely.
was one thing he over like. I loved Andy Latimer, but vocally, it could be a little bit to be desired at times. But I thought when it came to vocals, Gilmour had a good voice for the music they played. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I would say that's the thing about Camel sometimes for me. And you probably, if you saw my my CD vinyl haul, I've got a lot of new Camel, and I've been listening to Camel, and I do love Camel. Like I'm really getting into that band. But I will say, like you said, that's probably their biggest. The vocals are always kind of like, vocals are sort of average, but like everything else is great. Like the music is awesome, you know.
Oh yeah, and Andy's going off another tangent. Andy's a heck of a flute player too.
Is he?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a heck of a flute player.
nice. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he plays on a couple of the tracks on Moon Madness. He plays the flute.
Nice, nice. But yeah, a lot of people make that connection, Latimer to Gilmour. They said like if you like Gilmour, check out Andy Latimer. So there's a lot of
Yeah, and check out Andy Lanner.
you
Perfect.
know. And it's like, hey, that's a huge compliment to someone compares you to Gilmour. It's like, okay, I'll take that all day. Um, but uh, but yeah, so of course I have to mention before I forget. I'm just gonna say it before I forget to say it, and that is, one of the outtakes for this record ended up being Comfortably Numb. So like he started the idea on this album. And I guess he had the chord sequence or something, and but he ran out of time. He said at some point the label was like, all right, you got to deliver it, and he was like in the middle of that idea, and they had to like abandon it. But he brought it up again, and of course, in a way, it's kind of great because it became this massive
Oh yeah.
song, you know. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, and it's interesting because the other track that he had on the wall was that I love is Young Lust.
Young Lost. Okay. Yeah. That feels like I always felt like Young Lost could have been on Animals.
Yes,
Just
right.
kind of like the rhythm progression, kind of like the fierceness of the track.
Yes, yes. Young Lust, Run Like Hell, and Comfortably Numb. I think were like the songs that he had the most hand in
And,
writing.
and Hey You could have been on this album. I mean, just kind of like the atmosphere of
Yes,
that tune.
totally, totally. All right, so tangent time. Since we've been through the tracks. Anthony and I love to go on tangents. We're going to do another one. What do you think of Wet Dream?
Oh, I love Wet Dream. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
It was funny because I first discovered it. We had a local record store, and this was probably about 1988, 89. So LPs were kind of like an afterthought, but he used to have milk crates on the floor. And one day I was just looking through it. I'm like, what is this? And it ended up being Wet Dream on LP. And I guess the rest is history. I ended up getting on the one-way version. Of course, they're out of business. I bought it probably like 93, 94. And then Wilson just remixed it about 2 or 3 years ago, which is fantabulous. Added some extra guitar parts from Snowy White. Gorgeous.
Yes, I love it. I bought the remix as well, and
Oh, I love it.
It's so good.
And it
It's
was
so
so
good.
cool that he did that. I would have thought he would have remixed this instead of,
Yeah,
because Wet Dream's not, I know a lot of Floyd fans know it, but I'm not sure how many people outside of the Floyd
yeah,
family would know it. This would
right.
be, I would think, but this fell through. But yeah, the Rick Wright Wet Dream, fantastic.
No, I agree. I love, I mean, Steven Wilson knows what he's doing and he always does a good job. And, you know, when I saw that, when I saw he did that remix to that record, I was like, oh, I'll take that. I'll take that like right away. And yeah, you're right. It's something about that record. It's very mellow. It's like if you're in the right mood,
Well, and
it,
it's
it
almost like when you listen to Rick Wright's record and you listen to it's almost like, well, it's kind of like with Hackett, with Genesis, with his solo stuff. Rick Wright could have been more Floyd than people gave him credit for because
yes.
it's a Floyd sounding record.
It is. It is. It is. And it could be argued again, we're still on this tangent that it could be argued that, you know, like Floyd became less Floyd as it went. Like it became more Rogers baby, which is fine, but it was like it was less wish you were here, you know what I mean? Like and that kind of the you know when Wright had more say in the music, it was a little more Floydian. Whereas like when, you know, Roger kind of took over, it became more, I don't know. That's an argument for another day, I guess.
There was always a theme with Roger. That was the thing with Roger. There was
Yes.
always a theme. I mean, he was
Yes.
a genius. And you got pros and cons, you got amused to death, you have radio cast. They all had themes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess Rick, right. This is probably what happened with the two of them. I guess he was like when when they finally got together after these solo records and they were talking about making the next record and Roger played him the demos and I guess Rick Wright was like, "Oh God, here we go again. His mother, his dad died in the war." And then, like he was like rolling his eyes, I guess. Because you know, it's like the same themes again or something. But anyway,
Well,
uh,
he was fired then, and then he was hired by the band. He was not in the band, but he was actually hired for the tour. And he was like, I think the tour lost money. Rick was the only one that actually made money on the tour because I guess he had some drug problems around that time.
yeah, yeah, he got a divorce, and he said he was going through some personal stuff, and then he was, you know, he's probably yeah, and it is interesting though because I love how Roger's like, "You're out," and then he's like, "Well," or he said something like, "Okay, I'll leave, but I want to do the tour." Okay. So it obviously had nothing to do with this musical. It didn't have anything to do with music. It was more just personal issues.
Well, Rick Wright's daughter married the bass player from Pink Floyd from the
Oh
what the
yeah,
heck's his name?
yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Oh God, I should know this.
I'll remember when the show's over. I can't
Yeah,
remember, but his that was his son-in-law.
yeah. Momentary Lapse of Reason tour.
I mean, I know Tony Levin played on the album, but he didn't tour with them. But the
Right.
guy,
Guy Pratt. Guy Pratt.
Guy Pratt, that's his son-in-law. Yes,
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, that's pretty wild, right? Like that's kind of interesting.
yes.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, we're off on a tangent, but this album is pretty awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. I think this is kind of overlooked in the catalog and like you said, David doesn't play anything from it on his tours and I mean I think there was one time I think it was like the Rattle That Lock tour or something, and he was like, "Hey," there was some social media post or something that said like, "Hey, we're gonna let the fans like vote for songs you want to hear on this tour or something like that." And there were a bunch of people that put songs from this record on it, and nothing ever happened from it. But I saw a lot of votes for songs on this album. So there you go.
Well, this is one of those albums that like everything's perfect. Like the cover, the music, like the music goes perfect with the cover. Like it's something you could
Yeah,
listen to during a winter scene or when it's snowing.
yeah. Is that's another topic for another day. Is like seasonal albums. Like what are the
Oh
albums?
yes.
Like you know, certain bands or albums that you like. Like this is a spring album. This is a summer record. This is a winter album. Like, do you have those?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Obscured by Clouds is a winter album for me. Maybe
Yeah.
it's 'cause the first time I ever heard it was when it was snowing. I mean, it's probably had, and like Kansas to me is always like a spring or a summer band.
Right, right, right.
And
No,
then
it's
Jethro Tull and like Genesis, and then there were three is always an autumn album for me.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
Wind and
true.
Wuthering's always like a kind of an autumn
Wind
album.
and Wuthering's a
And
fall record. Yes,
yes,
exactly.
and
Yep.
Songs from the Wood also.
Yep. No, it's so true. Why it's funny. There's certain things that evoke. I don't know what it is, or maybe like you said, it's when you heard it first, or like maybe you heard it during a snowstorm or something. Like it's just like I connect Queen the Game with winter because I remember walking down when I was 13, listening to it in my headphones, and I was walking in the snow. So it's like that's a winter album for me for some reason, just because of that. But yeah, that'd be kind of a fun episode to do. Um, but yeah, so that's it. So yeah, I mean, what any last words on this record, Anthony?
I think it's an album. Any Floyd fan should have it in their catalog. I mean, it's Gilmour-esque. It's very Floydy. It's a fantastic solo record, and if you're a Gilmour fan, you should have it in your collection.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end it. That's perfect. I can't say anything better than that. So true. And if you don't have it, I say, if you don't have it, go get it. And then if you do have it and you haven't listened to it in a while, go crank it up. Because you'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot how great this album is. So that's it. If you've been with us this long, you must be a big Gilmour fan. So we appreciate you. Thank you. I always like to say thank you to all my subscribers. Appreciate you. I've been, gotten a decent amount of subscribers recently. So thank you for hitting that button. I really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please hit it. It helps the channel, and hit the like button. And that's it. So we'll see you next time on Curless Mania. Thanks again,
Tom,
Anthony.
do you want to tell them what our next record for the month of October will be,
Uh,
or do you want it to be a surprise?
let's tell them, what is it? I can't remember. What
It,
is it?
it's Peter Gabriel's. It's Peter Gabriel's second album, Scratch.
That's right. That's right. I'm not sure if that's going to be October. No, well, we'll see. Yeah, well, will be October. Yeah,
October,
yeah.
November, whatever,
It'll
whatever
be
your schedule
October.
is.
It'll be
You're
October. You're
you're the
right. Scratch.
boss.
Yeah, no, it's October. You're right. October. So yeah,
Because if
Peter
people
Gabriel.
if you lose subscribers because of me, don't have me back.
Anthony, I'm sorry, man. I lost the last video. I lost like 10 subscribers. I can't do any more videos with you. I'm sorry, man. No, no, that'll be fun. We're gonna do Peter Gabriel too. I can't believe forgot that. That's gonna be awesome too. That's just yeah, but more on that later. So Anthony, thanks again, man. Appreciate you.
Tom, thanks for having me on. It was fun as usual.
Yeah, we always have a good time. So all right, that's it. We'll see you next time on Curless Mania. See you later.
See you guys.